Hi friend, welcome back to Mentakawira Chats. I'm so happy that you've taken your time to visit here. I know it's not because you had nothing to do, but you purposed to come. Please receive my gratitude. And just before we proceed, in case you have not subscribed, just a second and hit that subscribe button so that you can also make this channel a little bit more popular. You'll help me reach more people by subscribing. And also, after this, remember to share. I know what you're going to read or what you're going to get from this. It's something helpful. Remember not to be selfish. Just share with somebody and you'll also be helping them. Okay, so before we proceed, I want to announce or to show the world that the book is here. And I want to appreciate everybody who came for the online launch. I was so delighted to see all of you there. Please receive my gratitude wherever you are in this world. It was a global event. I had around 7 or 8 countries that were represented in that launch. It was such a great honor for me. Actually, I felt so much honored. And that's why I'm here today. I'm here because the book is out there. People have read it. And I have received a few comments here and there. And it's my pleasure to respond to such comments. So today I want to respond to a comment I received from somebody who has already reached chapter 5 of the book. The chapter talks about the concept pre-misunderstanding and learning. In this chapter, I've tried to explain how a student may have had a pre-misunderstanding of a concept and how it affects the learning process. So this friend of mine called me and asked me, Kawera, just tell me, these things you've written here, where did you get them? And I told her, unless you've not been following me, I said that whatever is in this book, it's not like copy-paste things from the internet and then I put for you to read things which are already somewhere. These are things I have had a personal experience. And this experience has been through the interaction I've been having with the student for long. I actually have interacted with the student. That one I can confess. I have interacted with the students, not as a teacher. I've been teaching since 1996, but now also as a mentor, whereby I have moved to quite a number of counties in my country, and I've interacted with at least students, I would say from over 100 schools. I don't think there's a teacher who was ever transferred to over 100 schools during their teaching span to have had an experience of such a number of schools, or of students from such number of schools. But I have interacted with at least students in over 100 schools so far, and I'm looking forward to interact with more. So the things I've written here are things I've either interacted with a student, they have shared with me, we have looked for a way to resolve it, and then I've gone ahead and implemented it to another student who is also having the same trouble, and it has worked. So all the things in this book are basically practical things which have worked. So the reason I wrote this, the first time I had an experience that made me think of writing that or helping students in that area of concept pre-misunderstanding and learning, I have explained quite well on page 53 of this book. In this page, I've actually talked about my son. I had an experience with my son when he was in Form 2 back in 2014. So this is an experience I had from 2014, and I have been sharing with other students, and I've seen it. It is also working. When my son was in Form 2, I was teaching in another school. He had, as I was trying to see what he's doing over the holiday and trying to help him a little bit, I noted that there's a concept he had misunderstood the topic we call quadratic equations. Teachers who do that, most students misunderstand that concept of opening the first bracket and the second bracket. That thing of taking the first element in the first bracket, you multiply with the first element in the second bracket, and then you consider the sign in the first bracket as you multiply this first element of first bracket with the second element of the second bracket, and you go on, you come now for the second element in the first bracket, multiply with the first element of the second bracket, consider the sign in the first bracket and in the second bracket before you decide on the sign to use now as you multiply the second element of first bracket with the second element of the third bracket. I know a number of us are already lost. So you can imagine that form 2, they get lost there. So I noted my son was among the many students who get lost there. Now, he had a lot of confidence and he was good in mathematics. And when I tried to explain to him that whatever he was doing, the way he was opening the brackets in that expansion of the quadratic equations, he was totally doing it the opposite. So when I asked him and I tried to show him, he was so adamant to change because of the way he understood. And he had a lot of faith with his mathematics teacher, to the extent that he doubted me. I've actually written that thing here. You'll almost laugh when you hear the story. Actually, this book is full of stories from students, how I resolved them and how it has worked. So the first thing he told me is that is what you are telling me to do is wrong. Our teacher didn't tell us that way. Okay, I understood. That time I was teaching in a small county school, and he was in a national school in Nairobi, and I was in Imeru. So there was that thing of, Mom, you don't know how teachers of national schools teach. He didn't say it, but there was that implication in his statement, the way he told me, what you are telling me is not the way our teacher said. That thing of our teacher, those teachers said, But then I tried to show him, no, it is wrong. I actually came with a book to show him how it is wrong. And he actually went and told me, our teacher does not use that book. So in other words, Mom and you, the book, you are all of you wrong. My teacher was correct. So how I have been able to help is what happened with my son that time. After I noted I'm almost hitting a dead hand with this boy, and I can see he's wrong. But he's not really ready to get anything from me. I told him, go and bring your past papers. We look at them, whereby you have a question of quadratic equation and you have used this method. So when he came with the paper, as he came now to the study room where we were doing the discussion, is when I noted a change on his face as he came with the paper. Because he had already noted that all his questions on quadratic equations were wrong. He had never got it correct. But he had never sat down to notice that. So he believed in the way he had understood. And whatever I was trying to tell him this morning, it was blocked because of a pre-misunderstanding. So you are able now to go through it. So I showed him what you are trying to show me is wrong. Fortunately, he had even copied the correct answer beside the wrong, but he had never taken time to see the difference between his working and the correct answer. So when we looked at the corrections he had written with a red pen beside his paper, is when he noted, okay, so what Mom is saying is correct. And that is how he, hesitantly accepted that I am correct, he is wrong. And he was actually to go back. I told him, your teacher actually taught you the right thing. You are the one who misunderstood. Because he almost now started blaming the teacher. I told him, no, it's not the teacher. You misunderstood the concept and you have been you've been doing it wrong. He had actually told me, most of my friends didn't understand mathematics, and I'm the one who has been showing them the correct way of doing it. With this one you are telling me is wrong. So you can imagine how that thing had spread in the school. Anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is this, this book, you're going to get things which even as a teacher in class, you may not notice easily until you are conscious of it. So there are things which you don't even understand. Why do my students normally do this? Why do my students don't follow me in class? Why do my students not understand my concepts? That question you've been having, this book is going to help you because of that moment and the time I've had to interact with the student. At least I've been able to dig deeper, and you have been able to share, and you have been able to do it. And when I normally tell you people that I have students moving from E to B, that is all about what we do. We dig into the pre-misunderstood concepts, and then we correct all the other effect this pre-misunderstanding as a hand on the learning process, and the student is able to correct and get it correct. And that is how it has been working. I tell people I'm not a magician. I'm not a, I only got the grace to understand some of these things. And please, if you really wish to improve on the performance of your students, if you really wish as a student to understand why you read. Most of guidance teachers will tell me, students come to your offices and they tell you, teacher, I read, but I don't know what happens. Those are some of the things which this book is going to help you to understand. So just to get a copy, if you cannot reach the soft copies, the hard copies, please go to the KDP shop. You'll get my soft copy there, very cheap, only $1.99. It's so cheap. Or get in touch with me if you're within a region. I can send to you. And let me tell you, it's not about a region. I'm actually sending this book, a physical hard copy, to Armenia. Somebody has said, I just want the one with your signature, because as I talk to my students, I want to. So it's not about where you are. If you really want this, if this book is on its way to Armenia, it can come to you from wherever you are. So just make arrangements, and I'm there for you. Otherwise, thank you so much. I wish you a journey that is going to lead you to your destiny. This book, I tell people, it's supposed to help you get to the right lane. If you have been moving in a lane that is slowing down, it's not moving to the speed to which you need to move to reach your destiny, this side mirror to success is going to help you dodge to the right lane, and you're going to move faster to your destiny. Thank you so much. Please remember not to leave before you subscribe, and before you share this video to somebody else. I really feel treasured, and I feel honored by your presence here. If you have liked what I've said, click the like. It motivates me. Some of these things people we do, it's not fun, but we do it. Sitting down here talking to yourself, but I know I'm talking to the whole world, is not easy. So when you like, I know you have at least appreciated. But the most important is that please subscribe and share the video as much as possible. Help me reach the world. That is my mission. That is my calling. Thank you so much. I'll continue giving updates, not really updates. I'll continue giving some little explanations about this book as people give me feedback. So if you have seen the book, or you are going through the book, if there's an area you have an issue with, just tell me the topic, the chapter from where it is, and the topic of concern, and I'm going to help you by explaining. So if you go through all this and you have an issue, I'm there for you. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Let's meet the next time when I bring another episode of the success of using, or on the tips of using this book, Side Mirror to Success. Thank you so much. Receive my love.